what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds, and in this video, I'm going to be answering your specific property investment questions. I've been investing in property now for over 12 years. I've done hundreds of property deals, and this is your chance to fire away any questions that you might have, and I will do my very best to answer your questions to help you in your property journey to financial freedom. So let's see what questions we got from last week. Also, don't forget, smash the like button. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and turn the notification bell on. That way you won't miss my response video to your questions. So get commenting your questions below while I'm answering other people's questions. If you have an offshoot of a question that just pops into your head, go ahead, fire away, comment below. Let's see what we got. So Shanna Sampson says, I have a question that I don't believe has been asked. When you buy a house and you're getting home insurance, do you get building insurance and contents insurance with the cover, or just building insurance, which covers the bricks and mortar, as I understand? You have an option and you don't have to have both. Also, I understand contents covers what's inside the house, such as clothes, etc. Shanna, thank you for your question. So yeah, if you're buying a house and it's your house, and you're gonna live in the house, and you've got lots of computers and TVs and things, expensive clothes, not that I would have expensive clothes or even expensive things in my house, it's pretty bland, but you might wanna get contents insurance. Just regular building insurance is something that is, as you've said, that kind of, it covers you in case there's a fire or there's anything that happens with the house. If you're buying a property to rent out, generally speaking, you're not going to get contents insurance because it hasn't got stuff in there that belongs to you, it belongs to the tenants. However, regular building insurance is you've got to do it. It's not it's mandatory. It's mandatory, it's compulsory. It's the same as car insurance. If you have a car, you have to be insured. In the same way with property, you have to have insurance. Typically, generally speaking, for like a 3-bed terraced house that you might rent out, you're probably going to pay about £20 per month for building insurance. So it's not expensive, but it is compulsory. I hope that helps. All right, next, Zach M says, what is the best way, not one of the ways, what is the best way to get capital? Personal loans, finance company loans, etc. Zach, it really depends on what the loan is for. Like if a personal loan, for instance, if you're trying to get finance to buy a house to rent out, you can't get a personal loan, because if you're getting a mortgage on the property, like a standard buy-to-let mortgage, the mortgage lender is going to ask you where your deposits come from. And if you say, oh, it's a personal loan, they're going to say, well, we don't want to give you a mortgage because you've got no skin in the game. It's 100% financed. So are personal loans good? Yes, you can do lots of amazing things with personal loans. Bridging loans, are bridging loans good? It depends on what the deal is. A bridging loan is usually expensive, but it will bridge the gap between buying a property and then refinancing it. So to say what's the best way to get capital, I mean, listen, if you've not got much money and you're looking to raise finance to buy property because you've not got much money at all yourself, I would probably say, rather than trying to raise capital, why don't you go and make some money? Why don't you go and package some deals and sell them and get paid? And then it's yours. And then when you've got money, you can then borrow money against the money that you have and start really leveraging what you have, you know? So it depends. It depends. I hope that helps, Zach. Sorry if it doesn't. Next, Audacious ABC says, can you talk about rent to rent? Also, landlords giving their property to renters and how to find them. Audacious ABC, if you want to find it's not about finding the landlords. That's the easy bit. In fact, it's not even about getting a rent to rent. That's the easy bit. Because finding the landlords, come on, man, they're everywhere. You can just go on openrent.co.uk and every single property that you see is direct to landlord. You can go on gumtree.com and just type in flats available in Birmingham or wherever your city is, and there's going to be loads of flats, apartments, houses for rent, direct to landlord with the person's number. Adam. Call Adam, 07456, blah, blah, blah. Like, how do you find landlords? Come on, man. It's easy. How do you even get rent to rent? It's easy. You just contact them and say to them, I'm looking to rent your property on a corporate let. Can I book a viewing? It's easy. The hard bit is actually adding value to the property so that you can profit. Namely, turning an apartment into a serviced apartment. Namely, turning a shabby student let where the landlord's just missed the boat and now he can't get tenants, and converting that into a professional house share and pushing the rents up. That's the hard bit. But you need to be able to get landlords. They're everywhere. You just got to be able to speak to them. Okay, I hope that helps, ABC, Audacious ABC. I love you so much, Audacious ABC. I've got an audacious, outrageous love for Audacious ABC. So Audacious ABC, if you're watching this video, you better like it twice. You better go set up a different account and like it twice. All right, JB says, hi Samuel, my question. I have a mortgage in principle as a first-time home buyer, up to the amount of 238,000. Good. With 15%, which my family will provide. Look at you. Good. Do you have any advice on how I can leverage the position I'm in to make the most of it and get closer to financial freedom? Well, firstly, the fact that you've got a decision in principle and you need 15% deposit. Remember when I said that some lenders won't give you the money if the deposit's not yours because there's no skin in the game? Guess what? If the deposit's coming from your family, we call that a gifted deposit. A gifted deposit means that the lender's going to be happy and they'll still lend to you. It's amazing, but it has to be gifted from a family member. So that's all good. So if you're buying a house to live in, the only way you're going to get close to financial freedom by living in a house is if you buy a house to live in, but then rent out 1 or 2 of the rooms to lodgers. Man, I've got so many students doing this. Buying a house on a residential mortgage, renting out 1 of the rooms to a lodger. The money that you get will be tax-free as long as it's up to £7,000 a year. That's crazy. An extra $7,000 a year just for renting out a room, tax-free, spend it how you will. Damn, you should probably spend it on some of my courses. Tax-free. And then the courses are a tax write-off. Boom shakalaka. So that's what I'd probably suggest, Jay. If you don't want to do that though, if you're like, oh man, I don't want to rent out 1 of the rooms, I just want to live in privacy and all that, then just rent somewhere for the time being maybe. And then use the money. Ask your parents not to give you money to buy a house to live in. Ask them if you can take the money to invest it in a business. Okay. Shoaib Hussein. Yes, Shoaib Hussein. He says, just wanted to do some due diligence on Bradford. All right. What are some nice areas with reasonable prices, and what are some bad areas you would suggest not to buy or invest in? I'm wondering, do you mean what are the good parts and bad parts of Bradford? Or are you just asking me generally now? Good areas and bad areas. If you're asking generally, where's a good place to invest? Where's a nice area? Where can you get good rent? My answer would be every single city has good areas and bad areas. Okay? You're always going to have the rough parts and the nice parts, unless you're like me and you live in Beaconsfield, then you just got the nice parts, baby. But nah, I'm kind of kidding. Even in Beaconsfield, Beaconsfield is just nice. But generally speaking, you've got nice areas, bad areas within an area. So Bradford, for example, I'm trying to think of the nice parts of Bradford. What I would suggest you do is I would suggest you firstly work out who's your demographic. Are you going to be doing HMOs? Is it going to be students? Is it going to be professionals? Are you looking to do DSS housing associations? Are you looking to buy and rent out to families, single-let homes? Firstly, what's your demographic? Because really, it doesn't matter if the area is nice or average or not nice, or it doesn't really matter. Because if your demographic is you're renting to housing associations and those housing associations are looking for ex-prisoner offenders, you don't want a nice area anyway. So who's your market? Who's your demographic? And then when you know your demographic, then speak to some agents in the area and say, hey, this is my demographic, whereabouts am I looking? You know, you don't want to be buying a house on Benefit Street and trying to rent it out to a family, because it ain't going to happen. But if your market is DSS tenants that are on benefits, if that's your market, then great. Then buy a house on Benefit Street. Last question, and I'm going to answer this one the best, okay? I'm going to put my most energy into this question. This is from Burning Desire. My heart burns for you, Burning Desire. Hey Samuel, if I was to go into a joint venture with someone, how would I protect myself? Is it by getting a contract written by a solicitor and then get them to sign it? Also, create a limited company with percentage slips of ownership? Thanks, this will help a lot. This is my last question. Burning Desire, if you're doing a joint venture, how do you protect yourself? Firstly, you've got to work out, if you're doing a joint venture, you've got two parties. Each party needs to bring equal value to the table, okay? If I'm doing a joint venture with you, I'm gonna say, right, I'll put the money in. I've got 100 grand. What are you gonna put in? You can't say, I'm gonna put the money in as well, because then our roles are the same. Our roles need to be different. I'm putting the money in, what are you putting in? And you could say, I'm putting in the time and the energy, and I'll put the deal to the table. I'll manage it. I'll go, cool, let's do a deal. What we're then going to do is we're going to set up a company between me and you. Now, there's about 9 different ways you can do a joint venture. Of course, you're going to need solicitor agreements every time you do one. But the standard way is this. We're going to set up a company, Burning Desire, and Samuel Leeds Limited. Okay, that's the company. I'm then going to loan my money to the company as a director's loan. The company's going to buy the house, add the value, refinance it, rent it out, whatever. And then once it's refinanced and the company's got its money back, I'm then going to get my money back. And then any profits, we're going to split 50-50. That's generally how it's structured. So, of course, you need a solicitor involved. You need to do it properly. Man, people trying to pitch me joint ventures all day. They're like, Samuel, you want to do a joint venture? I'm like, even if I said yes, you wouldn't know what to do next because you are so uneducated and your deals suck. And that's why it's so important to get trained. And that's why I am running the Property Investors Crash Course. Me personally, okay? If you want to come and meet me and get trained at the Property Investors Crash Course, guess what? It is free. That's ridiculous. Why would I run a free training program? I don't know. I'm kind of crazy like that. I want to see you succeed. So I'm going to leave the link in the description. Get booked on. Come meet me. People say, but Samuel, it's too far. I don't want to go down all the way to Nottingham or Birmingham or whatever. Just make the trip, okay? Because if you're stoppable, when the first hurdle comes, oh, I can't come to the crash course because it's a 2-hour commute, then you're not going to succeed anyway. You're going to be stoppable every step of the way. So get down to the nearest one near your house. I'll leave a link in the description. Do it now. I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to working with you, and I look forward to helping you win. Thanks so much. Peace out. God bless.